Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Johnny. So, I wanted to ask a question, just something been on my mind. In the world of Black Lives Matter and critical race theory, and I'm oppressed and I need safe spaces and all this soft crap, are we judged by our color or our character in 2021? Because I believe that the entire movement or the reason behind this, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, was for us to stop being judged by the color of our skin. I don't think Martin Luther King was sitting like, I want you to respect me as a black man and see me as a black man. And when you see my skin color, you see greatness. Like, I don't remember hearing that. I remembered that I wanted to be judged by individual. See, I'm not hypocritical when it comes to this color thing. Like, I see a lot of people that be like, oh, you shouldn't say that about black people. Well, I'm going to say something, bro. I grew up in the hood. And my daddy said straight up, if something happened to you, it's going to be by a person who look just like you. Every time my house has been broken into, my car has been broken into, it's been by somebody that look like me. Not look like me in the sense, but same skin color. So I'm not naive that every black person is a saint. And I'm also not going to be believe that every white person is a sinner. So with me already having that basic knowledge from where I was raised and that root principle, I can already step back and not be overly emotional. I don't understand why we pretend that every time, if let's say hypothetically you hear something that says a black man committed a crime, why do you feel offended by that? Why does that hurt your feelings? Why do you feel like that one speaks for one? Like the George Floyd stuff. That man don't represent me. It's a travesty to what happened to him, and that cop got his just due. But I don't see myself inside of every black man. Just like you shouldn't see yourself inside of every black man or every black woman. You are an individual, and God made you unique. And the power and the light that's inside of you is only inside of you. You are one of one, just like I am. So we gotta stop letting this liberal media, which once again is always crazy how it's been the Democrats have always had mass control over us, but have always tried to manipulate us and feel other certain ways. But why is someone else always judging us? Why didn't we read about the slaves that escaped and became millionaires? Why didn't we know that there was black slave owners? And another thing I want to talk about is why are we conditioned to feel like we're all a descendants of slaves? There was no slavery in the North. W.E.B. Du Bois was born a free man, Harvard graduate. He was a communist, so we gonna disconnect from that. But he was black. Why don't anybody say they are a descendant of him and his freedom? Why do we all want to be descendants of slaves? If you ask me, I'm the descendants of the slaves that escaped and became millionaires. I'm what never oppressed. I ain't ever been a victim. America ain't ever treated me bad. Can't nobody stop me. My family ain't ever been stopped, and that's how I move. Because everything is a mindset. So why would I condition my mind to feel like I'm less than another human? Why would I accept that reality? My reality is I'm the one of the greatest individuals to ever walk this earth. When I leave, there will never be another me. God knew what he was doing when he was creating me. And that's why everyone should feel that way about them. When there's belief in you, you won't need belief around you. Let's get into this.
My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
And so, what are we judged by today? Are we judged by our character or our skin color? Is everything going back to being based off of black or white? You know, I never hear on the mass media, well, we just don't know what to do with these Nigerians. We just don't know what to do with these Haitians. There's just, well, we love the immigrants or the legal immigrants or however you want to say it. But why don't we just judge people as people? At some point, why don't we recognize that I'm different than Barack Obama? I'm different than LeBron James. LeBron James is different from Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen is different from Michael Jordan, and so on. How do we allow a media to only base us off color? How do we allow? And this is weird because these same people, they quote Martin Luther King and they say they know this and they say they know that, but how do you not realize that you're closed minded? the fact that you're going to say that all people must think like you, or they're racist, or they're extremists, you don't realize that's trying to control another human. That's so far away from being individuals and based off our character. Communism wants to put you in groups and base you off of a skin color or something like that. There's a book that I just finished reading. It's called Nietzsche and the Nazis. And I recommend everybody read it because everyone talks about Hitler, but nobody really knows anything about him. Just like we always say, our ancestors. What do you really know about your ancestors? Like, what do you really know about Frederick Douglass and Booker T. Washington and Ida B. Wells and Madam C.J. Walker? If you go to the best school in America and graduate with a 4.0, and then you go to the best college in America and graduate with a 4.0, you know the exact opposite about Black history. You don't know anything truthful because ain't none of these schools got you reading The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G. Woodson. You see what I'm saying? Ain't none of these schools got you reading Booker T. Washington Up from Slavery, or Booker T. Washington Character Building, or Frederick Douglass Autobiography. If all of this basic knowledge is kept away from us, then we'll only know the perception of Black history that white America wants us to know, is that we've been a victim and we've been oppressed and we can't do anything without the help of them, the liberal.
I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right now in Alabama, little black boys
and isn't it crazy now? We had politicians like that back in the day. Alabama, Bull Connor, all them stuff, right? And then you got Cori Bush, elected official in Missouri, that says Independence Day was just for white people. And she's an elected governor making $174K a year. Like, we've gotten so far away that because everything that we look around we see isn't black, when that was never the goal in the first place. Martin Luther King never said, hey, I want to get rid of all white people and make everything black. But that's our new brain, that if we don't see everything be black, then it's racist. And if we 13% of the population, what is starting a race war going to accomplish? Logically, what leverage do you have? If these are the people with all the guns, if these are the people with all the money and all the resources, what is being an enemy and getting into hostile conflicts? What is that going to do for you? Is that going to help you or hurt you? Because I'm trying to understand how this movement went from real life progress and not wanting racism and not wanting slavery. And I've read so much. Like, for instance, there's a lot of movements in the South that were communist. So it makes you look at the entire civil rights movement and say, was it ever about the betterment of black people? Or was it about spreading communism through America and ripping up the fabrics? Because that's some of the things that I've read. I've read that Martin Luther King potentially was a communist. I've also read that Martin Luther King said he feared he was integrating his people into a burning building. And one of the last things I want to touch on before I end this video, I get so tired of hearing about Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street, Black Wall Street. Do you know what? Yes, Black Wall Street was burned down. However, we skip over the fact that it was built back up. What killed Black Wall Street was integration. It was the fact that when we had the opportunity to go shop with someone else, we left our own people behind. It was the opportunity when I wanted to get away, then I did. And that's when the moral decline of our families fell. And that's when the moral decline of our neighborhoods fell. But in 1954, 1 in every 4 black families owned a home. The two-parent household rate was extremely high. All of this nonsense that we've been fed about violence and poverty have never went hand in hand. Black people have always had families. They've always had structure. I can even say when I was a kid, my mama used to send me to the lady house next door to get sugar and stuff when we was out. I had to be in the house when the street lights was on. There's always been structure when there were families. I don't know, not one person whose daddy will let them be out late or daddy will let them be reckless. I know a lot of kids who pulled a lot of slick stuff on their mama, because I did as well. But I don't know nobody who, when they had a mama and a daddy, who was able to do half the stuff that a kid in a single parent household was able to get away with. So I think if we get back to the honest roots, we stop throwing the color badge in everybody's face. If we can get to morals and principle and character, I think we can fix things. But we got to be honest. And we got to stop saying that our issues are somebody else's fault. The only things that are holding us back now are Democratic policies. Kansas City, St. Louis, Chicago, Baltimore, Atlanta, Oakland, Detroit, Cleveland, you name it. Those inner cities have been ran by Democrats, or at least last 50 years. And primarily, a lot of them got black faces in there. So at some point, we got to stop saying that if we get all black people, that's going to fix our issues. Because Kansas City been having black mayors. St. Louis been having black mayors. Chicago been having black mayors. At some point, we got to get past the politicians and say, hey, what's really going on with the people in these environments? But I don't think we want to fix that because we don't want to study why they act the way they do. You know what I mean? We don't want to fix it because we make money off dysfunction. Dysfunction sells. That's why Love and Hip Hop is on TV. So let's take our own image back. Let's take back our narrative and let's stop letting somebody make us look like fools. Because we know that we all got grandparents and that look better than us. You know, they don't want us acting like that. My grandma would be, I changed the way I carry myself because my grandma expected something to me. My mom expects something of me. My dad expects something of me. We got to get back to that. I was never scared of the police as a kid. I was scared of my daddy. And if we get more strong men in our communities and stuff like that, hey, we may be able to throw this critical race theory and all this trash out the door. Because as a man, you don't care if somebody like you or not. If they don't put their hands on you, it's about principle. We got to get out of this emotional stuff and we got to get back into logic. So let me know in the comments below what you think. Are we judged by color? Or are we judged by character? And if so, what do you prefer to be judged by? I know a lot of people are pro this Black Lives Matter stuff and they pro critical race theory and they want everything to be see me, see me, see me, see me, see me. And I just don't feel that way. I feel like I'm a dope individual, whether I'm black, white, red, green, yellow, blue. If I get into a fire tomorrow and I get burnt, I'm still dope. And ain't nobody about to tell me I'm not because that's my mindset and that's how much I believe in myself. So until next time, watch my other videos, like, share, subscribe. I'm out.